Hello, this is JB. I'm a law student, JD student, and I'll be 40 years old in a few days. Today I'm going to talk about my Lsat experience. Um, I took the Lsat in August of 2024. Well, let me take that back. I was supposed to take it in August of 2024. Scheduled to take it on August 7th at 1:50 p.m., but I could not because I went into brain surgery at 1:15 p.m. that same day. Just a few days before, I found out that I had a brain tumor the size of a tangerine after I had a seizure, and I went to the hospital and they couldn't figure out what was wrong with me. So they did an MRI and they found it. And it was large, so it was very serious, and it could have killed me if it wouldn't have been taken out. But before the surgery, they told me that if something went wrong in the surgery, I could lose my physical abilities or my cognitive abilities or my life. And so it was a very serious time. But I went through the surgery, and sometime after it, I don't think much time passed after it, maybe an hour or 2 hours, I woke up and my friend was there, and I recognized him and I shook his hand, said his name, and then we started telling stories and talking about the obvious, the brain surgery and everything else. So I knew I was going to be okay, and I had a very quick recovery. I was supposed to be in physical therapy for a couple of months, but I didn't have to go at all. And just a few days after the surgery, I was able to leave the hospital. There were some difficulties. Uh, like one night I got confused, um, and I went into the law office where I worked to do some work, and I forgot to turn off the alarm, so the police came and I had to explain to them why I was entering a law office in the middle of the night, and and all that. But everything worked out. They understood and they actually wanted to help me. They're like, "Is there anything we can do for you?" And I was like, "No, I'm fine," and so it was all good. But anyway, getting back to the LSAT. So when I found out I had to go to the surgery, they allowed me to push back the date, and they didn't charge me to take any money away. And so I scheduled it for 28 days later. And a lot of my friends who have taken the LSAT or who have taken other difficult tests have said or told me not to do it. They said it's too much stress, it's too strenuous, it's not worth it. They said don't do it to yourself. But I just wanted to get the test over with because you need a score to apply, and I wanted to have a score so I could decide what I was going to do and start, taking the steps to apply to law school if I was going to be able to do that. And so I took it 28 days later. I went to a testing center near where I was living in Green Bay, Wisconsin, and the test was 3 hours around, I think it is, and that was a long time for me to be focusing and to be reading, um, because I hadn't really. I was working at that point, but I hadn't really had to go hard for 3 hours, and so it was tough. Uh, and those testing centers, they make it unnecessarily stressful, but I got through the test. I wish that they didn't have the one extra section that's just for um, their own testing to see which questions they should use on future tests, because those are questions that you don't get credit for. And if they're at the beginning when your brain is strong, then you're wasting your energy on questions that don't count. And that could have happened in my case, I don't know. But I wish they would just put them at the end and then tell you these are the questions that don't count, and you could just skip through them or just guess. But they don't do that because they want you to give your full effort. But so I took the test, and I really wasn't sure how I was going to do because before I took the test, I thought I would do like somewhere between 162 and 168. Um, but after I had the surgery, I had no idea because I wasn't even sure at that point how my brain was working or if I was at the same level as I was before in terms of cognition. And so I just had no idea. And it took some time to do the writing portion. You can't get your score until you do the writing portion. But there was a bunch of technical problems with that. But eventually I got the writing sample, and then I got my score. And my score was a 149, which is slightly lower than the median. It isn't where I thought I would be, and it limited my choice of law schools. So some of the places that I wanted to go, like Arizona, North Carolina, Wisconsin, those weren't really options for me anymore. Of course, you can apply, and they say that they look at the whole of the person and all of their experiences, and they weigh everything, but really they're looking at your SAT score and your GPA. And so I knew it was a waste of time to apply to some places that I wanted to go. And so I didn't even bother. And but I did apply to I think 9 places, and some of them I'm pretty sure held it against me that I had the brain surgery, and that because of that my score was low, or it was low anyway, and or lower than the median. And so in some of them I just didn't get in. And they're not supposed to discriminate against you, but it happens, and there's no way to prove it. And so they get away with it. But I had a strong GPA, I had a strong background, experience, lots of different things, letters of recommendation. I had letters of recommendation from a Yale JD, a Stanford SJD, a Wisconsin JD, and lots of other people that I've worked with in various parts of my life. And so I was a have applicant, and I had, of course, strong essays. I was a professional writer. I have a lot of writing experience, so those were strong. But I eventually got into 2 law schools, North Dakota and University of Arkansas at Little Rock, Owen School of Law. And when I first found out that I was going to North Dakota, or that I was offered there, I jumped at the chance because I thought that might be my only chance because of the low score. And I just wanted to go somewhere. And I knew that if I went to North Dakota, I would get the attention that I needed. I would have opportunities that I needed. It's a state that has a very big need for attorneys. It's a rural state, but North Dakota's cold, and it's in a smaller town. It's in Grand Forks, and it's like 50-some thousand, I think. And then, surprisingly, I got into University of Arkansas Little Rock. I wasn't sure that I would, but I got in, and it was the perfect fit for me, and I knew it right away because I'd spent like so much time of my life working on behalf of workers and representing them as a non-attorney, and working on social issues related to that. And Little Rock has a long history of civil rights. It was a big part of the civil rights movement, and the law school, their main values are about working for people who are otherwise unrepresented. And so I knew that it would be a good fit for me because it is in the South, and I'm from the South. I'm from North Carolina, and so I wanted to get back to a warmer climate. I wanted to get to place that has my food, where you can hear my music, rock and country and bluegrass and all that. I listen to everything, but that's the music of my childhood. And like just the way of life here, and like if you come to Little Rock, you'll fall in love with it immediately. It's a great city. But so I knew it would be good for me, and that's ultimately what I decided to do. And I've been here a semester, and I made a video just the other day about that. So you can check that out. But anyway, that was my Lsat experience. It wasn't what I thought it would be, but it worked out for me. I would tell anyone who's going to take the Lsat to do the best you can, get the best score you can. If it's not a 178 or 176 or whatever, it's okay. It's fine. So you're not going to Harvard. You're not going to Yale. Who cares? You can still go somewhere, and you can still be successful, and it's going to be okay. You're not going to have the prestige, and maybe you're not going to get to go work on, for some big law firm in New York City, but you'll still have opportunities, and everything's going to be just fine. So just keep working at it. Speaking of working at it, I didn't prepare or study for the LSAT. You can't study for it because it's not a knowledge test. Like, think of the, like when you got your license when you were 16, you can study for the written exam, the one you take on the computer, because that's knowledge. What's a stop sign? What's a speed limit sign? That sort of thing. Who has the right of way? All that. That's knowledge. So you can study that, but you can't study for the driving portion. You can practice, you can prepare, but you can't study for it. And it's the same with the LSAT. You can practice, and you can prepare, but you can't study for it because it's not a knowledge exam. But anyhow, for people that are going to take it, just keep working at it. You'll be fine. You'll get in somewhere. As long as you get close to the median, like I did. I was below the median. I still got in somewhere, and I'm still going to have the opportunities that I want to have. So that's it. Thanks for watching.